Tried out our overgrown lawnmower today. Man, it's too wet to be doing this, but I couldn't help it. Got our deck all done. What I ended up doing, that belt was a little bit too long. I mean, we done the best research we could at the IH dealer, and I had measured this thing, and it came out. I just used a light cord to measure it. I wrapped a light cord around all those pulleys, and I was coming up with around 200 inches, but I got to think, well, I'm using a light cord. It's dropping all the way down in the bottom. So this belt is a 214, and best they could tell at the dealer, that's what it called for, because I told them it was a Farmall Cub with 59-inch woods. But then we also got to talking. They had so many different combinations, and if we got it right, we was gonna be lucky. But what I ended up doing, that belt was $104, so we was gonna use it anyhow. But I ended up having to add 3.5 inches to these stabilizers. I did that this morning. Just used 1/2 inch thick steel. Added those on both sides, and it took care of it. I got a little bit of play in my pulleys yet for adjustment, and seems to be working fine. Pretty happy with it. Also, we completely drained the tank. I'd put gas in it yesterday just to run it, and it was pretty nasty in the bottom. I took this off and just stuck my power washer down there and just went all over that tank, and took the fuel bowl off, and then I ended up taking garden hose and just kept rinsing it, and I borrowed one of Chris's ideas off of Homesteading Hard Way. He's kind of give us some advice along with some other guys. When we took the fuel bowl off, I cleaned it out, and also I took, like, I believe I had a 1/4 inch bit in my drill. I just cleaned each port with that bit, and then I put a stand, like a stand pipe, maybe a 1/2 inch above the bottom of the tank, so it's not sucking the whatever's floating in there, a little water or rust flakes that was left over we couldn't get out, because there was a baffle in that tank. I couldn't get to the back part real good, and so far that seems to be working good. It died on me a couple times coming over here, but I pulled my plug out of the carburetor, and there's just a little bit of water coming out of it, so that was kind of handy just to be able to do that, and got her going again. So probably take a few rounds of that to get all the water out. Checked all fluid levels. My transmission oil is good on the level, but it is milky. Need to change that. Final drives. I checked this one. I still got to check this one, and like some other guys have mentioned, you got to take this bracket off to get to that plug. And I'm going to see if I can't notch out a little bit in this thing to where I can. I don't know if I can or not. We'll see, because I like to check final drives often, and that's just a pain having to do that. I also welded this into place. I noticed it just had one bolt on each side, and this piece was rocking forward and backwards, so I went ahead and ran a bead on both sides. Hold that. But the belt, no issues. It's still tight. It's staying on. And I ended up, we got a 1/4 twist here, and I believe on this one it's a 3/4 twist. And I believe that's correct. I've tried every other way. I can't seem to do it without that 3/4 twist on that belt there. But I believe that's the correct way. Yeah, so far I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, you never know we bought it dead, and when you're buying stuff dead, you just don't know. But the story was that it sat for 2 years, and they didn't have any issues they knew of. So we lucked out. Looks like we lucked out. There's so many things that could go wrong, and I didn't realize the bottom tank of the radiator is this casting. So if that ever froze, you know, you could get a crack somewhere. Of course, I figured, I'm always thinking worst case scenario. I went to fill it up with water, and I thought, well, wonder how many leaks we got coming out of the radiator. You know, that'd be an extra cost. Because on this deal here, I was a little hesitant about paying what I did for it. We paid $700 for it. And that's kind of on the high end, buying something like this dead, for me anyhow. Because there's so much you don't know. And, you know, we had like that belt was $104. Bought the battery and a few other odds and ends, so there's two, so we're $900 into it now, parts wise. And I haven't included my labor yet. My labor's like $5,000, so we're gonna have to keep this thing mow a lot of grass. But no, I'm not worth it near that much. But yeah, you never know when you're buying stuff dead. Because if it had something catastrophic wrong with it, you know, crankshaft issue or block issue, there you are, now you're working on a motor. But I think we got lucky. Got to be lucky once in a while. I got to get the I'm not charging yet. I got to get the generator charging. You know, we checked the oil and the steering. That was actually full. I understand these can get to leaking, and that was full, so that was a plus. I've got to work on my gauge wheels. If I let this thing down far enough where the gauge wheels are running, it's actually scalping the ground. So they've got bushings here, but that ain't gonna drop me low enough. I mean, I'm an inch and a half off the ground here. I'm probably gonna have to do a cut and hack job there with the welder and move it. So
Mom said to stop it.
I think once we get her dialed in, it'll work pretty good.
Dad, Mom said she couldn't get on the camera because it's phone. Okay?
That's okay. Yeah, we got a lot of rain here, man. We've had like, 3.5, 4 inches of rain. Cucumbers are blown up. This corn patch, that's made. Really happy with our no-till system there. Got really good control on grass and weed growth. The wildlife love it. I didn't get it fenced off. I need to get these other two fenced off, or it's going to go the same way. But for that experiment, I'm really happy. Yanking. Let's see if I can pull a stalk here. Around.
The king.
Well, that broke off.
Yeah, it did. Long trunk.
It broke off too. That was rooted pretty good.
That was long. Oh my God! What is that?
There's how our root system is on a stalk. Done pretty good going into that sod, I thought. Done real good. Raining on me again. We got good kill over on these parts here. That was our last planting. It was 4th of July. A few little blades of grass. It was really dry when we planted this in the grass waterway. We got real good kill on that. So if we keep getting rain, this corn's going to do good. Well, that was our...
Dad, can I get on the trampoline?
You can do whatever you want, hon. It's Saturday night. You got to go back to school here this week, thank God. I think kids start back to school Wednesday. But, well, I'm going to get out of the rain here, guys. Talk at you later.